Hello you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a hot minute, so I thought I'd give you an update. Sorry it's taken since September to do an update, but as I'm sure you can imagine, life has been busy. So without further ado, we get on to painting the wings on the Revell 1, that's a 1/44 scale Airbus A340. Just using standard grey to get this down. Again, not an exact science with the colour, but look good enough to me. So, as always, getting a nice even coat across the board. Just like to say while we're watching this process, just thanks for joining me, thanks for bearing with me with the long delay between the videos coming out. I do, as always, hope to get more out more regularly, but life just seems to get in the way, so I do apologise. So, without further ado, next up is a Mr. Hobby's Aqueous 317 grey. This is to do the corrugard section of the wing. Again, like I said before, repeating myself, it's not an exact science with the colour. I've sort of just gone with what looked good to the eye. And I'm sure you agree, it looks pretty decent. Next up, as I say, we're not messing around with this video. Next up was using Tamiya's excellent extra thin quick drying cement and affixing the very well detailed cockpit glass. Lovely definition on that for a fairly venerable kit. Fitted beautifully as well. And it didn't matter if it fogged up using this cement, because ultimately we're going, as you're going to see now, we're going to spray the whole fuselage in Tamiya's X2 white. I'll speed this up again just so as not to bore you to tears, but it's a simple process. We've all done it. It's just a case of laying down the white evenly. In a short while, you'll be treated to me. I've done something a little bit different. I've decided to actually do a bit of live narration. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, please, whether you prefer this style or the live narration. Mr. Hobby's excellent GX100 clear, and the reason I did this is it seals in the masking, so when we put the blue on in a mo, there won't be any bleeds. Well, that's the theory and the hope. So the aforementioned blue I went with is Mr. Colour's number 34 Sky Blue. This is a perfect match for Austrian's belly colour, which is incidentally different to the blue on the engines. So, as I said a minute ago, I am going to hand over to myself for a bit of live narration, as I thought I'd just give it a try, see how we get on with doing a bit of live narration rather than it being sort of done post-edit as I'm speaking now.
Okay, we'll sort out the back to make that a lot smoother now. That is perfect. I'm giving this a rub down just to make sure that's all nice and smooth. Okay, everything is all good. I've even glued back the centre piece there. Okay, so now we are onto these, the decals. You will notice there's a gap here, and that is because the decal is here. Okay, and it will be going kind of like that. Okay, now I am going to be using just the decal strong, okay, or we might use just the marks there. We'll see. Okay, so let's see how we get on. Got the tub of warm water here. And now you may think that this is a strange place to start. I'm doing it this way because I want to see how that decal solution gets on with said decal. Okay, and of course we've got Q-tips, and I'm going to use this stick. It's got a nice sharp point but won't damage the decal. So let's see how we get on with this, shall we? Bearing in mind these are hella old decals. Okay. Let's see. Is that? Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. So I'm actually going to just use a paintbrush, dip some water on there, put some of that in here, just so that we and just see how this is getting on. We don't want any movement. We want a little movement as possible. Okay, I'll try and bring this up to the centre of the frame. Zoom you in a bit. Just move this out of here. Let's see how we get on, shall we? We're trying really hard not to damage this decal. In the end, just use the Mark 1 and now what you will notice is this has been done on matte, matte paint. So let's see how said decal. Let's have a go. Which one do we go for? Shall we go? We'll give. So there we go. Giving it a couple of minutes. We've used the Mr. Mark Fit Strong, and as we can see, all through here and these bits here, there's no silvering, so this is good. We're happy with this, and it's not melted the decal either, so we're happy with that. Just trying a different technique here, just putting a bit of the extra strong on first and then see how we get on. Just see if it seats it better or not. I'm having to be incredibly careful with this because I don't want to move this decal at all, because it's spot on where it is. So we're just dabbing away and hoping for the best as per normal. And then we'll have a little bit more of the extra strong. On top. And we'll see how we get on with that.
Thanks, me. Well, you're back with me doing the post-edit narration now. Let me go again. Let me know again, guys. Get me words out what you think to that. If that works better for you, then I can do that a bit more regularly, providing the dog isn't barking in the background, of course. It's rare that I get a quiet moment in the house, hence why I take these sort of opportunities now to do a bit of post-narration. But again, yeah, open to constructive thoughts on this one. So we're going to get into the sort of more decal section now. The decals were really excellent on what is probably, well, I think it's about a 15, 16-year-old kit. Now, I know a lot of you have dealt with older ones and are probably masters at this, but I was really quite surprised at just how well these decals had held up, to be honest with you. They're a little bit thick, but can't complain because it means they were durable. And yeah, was really pleased with how they worked out. So, when I did my bit of live narration, you'll understand the process here. I've had to be a little bit more hands-on with this one because it was being a bit of a swine to get into position, as you will see. But again, this is a sort of an educated move because I knew it was going to be thick and durable. I wouldn't suggest doing this with more delicate decals, but I knew these are a bit more robust. So a bit of the old Mark 1 hand was used rather than fiddling around using tweezers and toothpicks, etc. I must admit, I have really found these Mr. Marksoft decal solutions have been really excellent. I can't recommend them enough. Again, do what I did, like I said in the previous clip. Try it on maybe a decal that you're either not going to use or you're not too fussed about, just to make sure it works okay with your decals. So it's just a real case, to be honest with you, of rinse and repeat. This decal, as you may see, is a repeat of the other side. I did the other side off camera because I just wanted to get a feel for how they all fit, and I just didn't want to mess up in front of you guys, to be totally honest. So I had a feel of how things were going, so it was easier just to video this side. And as you can see, this is quite a sizable decal. And as you can see in the mo, I had a little bit of fun with this. But I thought I'd show you the sort of mistake. As you can see, it's already tearing because for any newbies out there, it's not a case of give up. Most mistakes can be rectified, as you'll see with this. Maybe this is sort of shown as how not to do it when placing your decals onto your kit, because as you can see, I make a right mess of this. But what I hope it shows is that you can rectify it pretty well, to be totally honest with you. You can't tell when I look at the kit now that this is what happened. But I was very, very keen, and the reason, as you can see from my despair, it had to match up each side. So this was what I was very keen to do. So it really did take quite a bit of sort of manoeuvring, fettling, checking, using the setting solutions eventually to get it to settle correctly. But as you can see, ta-da, it went very, very well. So again, using the decal softening solution, just generously applying this onto the decals and allowing it good time to and just removing a little bit of hair as well that has managed to work its way onto the fuselage, but just allowing it time to get into place and allowing the solution to do its job to get the decal to conform. Because as I say, these were quite thick, these decals, and as you can see, there are some real, well, it's a circular fuselage, so it was a bit of a challenge to get some parts of it to conform to the various ridges, etc. But the conform they did, and it took a little bit of patience, but it paid off in the end. As you can see with this one, this was an epic pig of a decal. You can see towards the trailing edge of the wing, all in that area, was a real pain in the arse to get right. It's a little bit creased, as you can see there, because believe it or not, the setting solution is actually still doing its thing. But after 24 hours, in fact probably less than that, probably 12 hours, after I'd managed to fettle everything into place, it had all clamped and settled beautifully onto the fuselage for that painted on look. You can see one side looking all good, the other side looking less good, but like I say, it's all a matter of time. It's all even, it's all equal, and it did settle in. You can see a few wrinkles there, but I deal with these afterwards using a cotton bud or Q-tip. With all the main decals put on, it's time to put the owner of said aircraft, Austrian Airlines, it's time to put their titles on it, so I thought I'd include that bit as a sort of final piece for the decals, or decals, depending on where you are in the world. Please don't correct me on that, because I honestly don't care. So again, just a case of popping in place. Of course, we're on glossy paint, so you can give it a little bit of a wiggle around. I'm more reluctant to do that, as I said before, with matte paints. And I've just sort of sped this up because, again, it was a little bit of a time-consuming process, but I was getting wanted to be super on point with making sure it was level. So it's a little bit of a case of move it, maneuver it, take a step back, look, different angles, make sure that that was level. And work straight with the windows, of course, because that would look seriously odd. But we got there eventually. And last but not least, just using a bit more of the setting solution to get it to sit down and look nice and perfect. A little bit of a zoom out now so you can see where we've got to. Starting to come together really, really well now. She's starting to look like quite the airliner now. Very happy with that. Believe it or not, the trickiest part was almost getting those windows to all be straight. The cabin windows, that took some time. So, in my haste, I forgot, clever me, to do the chrome leading edge of the engines and the wings. So some very, very careful masking of the wings so as not to, A, get paint where it shouldn't be, and B, strip any of the decals that were already on there, because those wings ones, trust me, were very fragile. The little bit of silvering you can see on the wings decal, on the wings there, on the decals on the wings, was dealt with. Just a case of using a really thin pin and just going along and just where it was noticeable, because it's more noticeable in this view than it was with the naked eye, and just making sure all the bits of silvering had gone. So just a case again, removing all the myriads, and I do mean myriads of bits of masking tape. Okay, on to my probably least favourite part of doing kits, and I don't know why it's my least favourite, I have no reasonable excuse for it, but onto the wheels, and there are lots of them on this aircraft. So it's a case of using our good old friend Mr. Capillary Action with a thinned rubber black colour, and as you can see, the capillary action, because it's thinned, it flips around the rim of the undercarriage wheel really, really well. And we'll zoom in just a little bit. Come on, focus, come on, thank you very much. Yeah, you get a good view of this aforementioned capillary action working, and it's my way of doing it. Some people will have put little masks on there and just spray, but I find that a little bit too time consuming. This is my way of doing it. Now, as you can see, you get the odd little bit where it goes slightly wrong, which, yeah, is a little bit infuriating. This is on the inside of the wheel, so I wasn't overly fussed because you can't actually see it. But yeah, this is what I do for wheels, and I find it works well for me. Let me know your thoughts. There we go, pretty happy with that. Like I say, there is the odd tiny weeny little bit that's gone over, which I'm not concerned about because it's on the inside. Had that been on the outside, then yes, I would have been a little bit more concerned. There you go, a real prime example there of just that nice capillary action spinning around the edge of the wheel and doing its job. Talking wheels, it's time to now fix them to the undercarriage legs. We're moving on pretty rapidly now, drawing this build to an end with only about 3 or 4 minutes left to go. Do please watch the end of the video if you wouldn't mind, just to have a look at, I took some photos of the completed build just to give you sort of a whole view of it, because it was quite difficult to get a view of the whole aircraft because it was so big and the camera didn't sort of really go wide enough from its position. So do me a favour and have a look and let me know your thoughts at the ends of the final product. I took about 11 or 12 photos for you to have a look at. Their high-res images, so they've come out quite well, just of the whole aircraft and how it looked in its final state. So as always, using Tamiya's extra thin cement, a little bit of a daubing on that, and then it will be affixing the other wheel. Some of the more keen viewers will notice this is slightly well lit and some better camera angles. Well, I managed to get myself an extra light, and I've actually got a new sort of bench mounted tripod so I can get some better angles, which I hope will be better for your viewing. Let me know your thoughts. I think, as you can see here, look like so, you just get a little bit of a more interesting angle view rather than the standard ones that you used to get. So hopefully you enjoy these and it brings a bit of a better look and a better detail to my videos. Now this wheel was a real, as you can see, half the mould is missing on that bit there, and this wheel was a little bit of a pig to get on. Of course it was, because it was the one I was videoing. And yes, I am aware that the main leg has just slightly come away from the strut coming out, and I of course a little dab of glue off camera, and we rectified that. So just fiddling around with this rotten wheel, because would it play the game because it was on camera? And yes, I know, pink gloves, but they're really good. I like these pink gloves because they're strong and they last for sort of a whole modelling session. There we go. Centre undercarriage all in place. And we did this for all the other pieces of undercarriage so the aircraft could sit well. Right, now we're on to the final bit. I hear you all cheering. This is just the APU exhaust. So while I've got you here for the last piece of the build, I just want to thank you very much for being ever so patient. If you haven't already, please do me a favour, hit the like and subscribe. It does all the algorithms and blah blah blah. See, fun and games trying to sort of bend my hand round so you guys can see, and then not get any glue where the paint is, etc, etc. But there we go, we're finally there. It's in position. And while as I say, before you go, I'd just like to say thank you again for watching and getting this far. Enjoy the 10 or 12 pictures at the end that are just coming up now. And thanks very much. Please stay safe and well, everyone. Enjoy your modelling, and have a good one till next time. Thanks again for tuning in. Speak soon. And this picture, just before I go, one last thing, because I didn't include it in the video, is of the weathering of the underside. I did some light weathering of the top side, and I did some sort of light weathering on the underside. I didn't go overboard with it, but that's what this picture's showing. Again, thanks for checking in, guys. Have a good one. See you soon.